And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the grand finals. It's grand finales here of the LiuLi Cup Weekly number 7. We were hoping, we were crossing our fingers here to get a non-PvP finals, but it could not happen. We could not solve it. The top two seeds of the tournament are facing off, and they have found each other here in the finals. In the bottom left-hand corner of Leylands, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. We go as we're getting into our PvP, as we're getting into our fresh best of 5. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our PvP. Coming into this, it's going to be a tough one to call. MaxPax has, of course, in recent times reinvented his PvP. If you recall, for many years, for a very long time, MaxPax, he would do the same build every single game. Would go for a Gate, a Cybercore into expansion, or Gate Cyber Stargate into expansion every single game without fail. But over the past 3 months, we have seen MaxPax stop going for the quote-unquote MaxPax build and MaxPax opener, as it is less viable, as MaxPax has been having a very hard time making use of it, and instead has gone for 2 gate openers. 2 gate openers all around. Classic setting up for the proxy, and this is a prime proxy robo position. 1 base all in. 1 base all in out of Classic. Again, Classic, he's known for proxy robo. He does that very often to great effect. I did see someone in the chat, in the YouTube chat, mentioning how I rarely see these all-ins work. Players like Hero, Classic, and MaxPax do often all-in against each other, and Classic, again, he's renowned for proxy robo. And with that, a Cybercore is done. Show us that robo. Task complete. Stalkers are on the way. We're waiting for our tech of choice. And there it is, proxy robo. Which again, is what we expect to see this multiple times in this series. 100%. In the best of 5, we expect to see it 2-3 times. Even if we go all the way to the ace match. Classic is very fond of it. Meanwhile, Stargate open out of MaxPax, so 2 gate open into a Stargate before expanding. MaxPax, he can defend with this Dusk Scout. Okay, Dusk Scout does confirm. Nicely done here by MaxPax. He's going for the pylon. At the same time, Classic does come in to intercept. And Classic, he does get the first volley off. Yeah, he gets the shots off. Classic holds. So Classic, he will defend this position. He will protect the robo. It will get up and running. But at least MaxPax is aware of what's going on. At least he knows. So MaxPax, he scouts, but he cannot stop it. Stalkers are rallying across the map. See in the chat, proxy robo is fierce even against Terran at low leagues. I mean, you can do anything against in the low leagues. It's you can make anything work. It's fine. Unfortunately, not seen at this level play against Terrans. As one Stalker goes down, Phoenix has arrived to zone away the Prism. As we're building up more Phoenixes. Now, for those that are curious, the purpose of these Phoenixes are to 1, zone away the Prism, 2, lift the Immortal. To lift and crowd control the Immortal. And just make sure that's not going to be a part of the fight. Immortal's on the way. As the first pylon does go down. Again, Classic has to be so careful with that War Prism. Cannot lose it. Oh! Speaking of, does lift the Sentry. Sentry is saved. Save. Classic going for the gateway itself getting quite low. The first Immortal has arrived. And Classic is gaining ground. Nice force fields. Oh, he looks down 1, 2, 3, 4 Stalkers. Brutal losses. Yeah, 4 Stalkers go down, and MaxPax, he takes a massive blow to his army. And we're just going in. Yeah, we're going for the kill. The Immortal! F2, Bappy. The Immortal gets left behind. So a little bit awkward there from Classic, a little bit of miscontrol. Yeah, the Immortal was not a part of the control group. With that MaxPax he's holding. MaxPax he's holding on. It's up to 3 Phoenixes. So far up to 3, we have reinforcements all the way from across the map. These were the Stalkers that warped in to defend against an Oracle that never came. As we're going for another gateway. And there's only one gateway left here for MaxPax. You can warp in 1 unit at a time. Once again, force fields are going to be key here. The reason why force fields are so good is because there's no blink. There's no blink and there's no warp prism, so MaxPax, you cannot escape force fields. Boys are being pulled. Nice force fields. They lock away the army. Gets 1 Stalker. 1 Stalker goes down. MaxPax, he supply blocked. Oof. Yeah, brutal supply block. The supply block, Pappy. He's throwing down 2 pylons. 2 pylons on the way. Oh. Classic, he wants that Cyber Core. Oh my god, that prism is a little bit far back. He has to push forward. His Cyber Core goes down, which means no more Stalker warp-ins. There's 1 sentry with the NG overcharge. Yeah, it does force field, locks down the army. He locks him down. The prism is a little bit too far back. Does on siege, and Classic is doing it. Classic is doing it. He's breaking through. He does have some wasted DPS there on the low ground, but does break through. And Classic, he does it. He overwhelms. GG gets called, and Classic, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, the game-winning move for Classic, if you remember, was when he locked down 4 Stalkers. He was able to force field and catch out 4 Stalkers from MaxPax. They went down for free. It was a brutal moment, a brutal trade, and MaxPax, he plummeted in supply in that moment. We saw that right after that, Classic overextended. True, he did overextend, but he still maintained his momentum, and from there snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. With that, Classic takes the lead in the series, and we'll see if MaxPax can recover. We'll see if he can bounce back. Here we go. We'll see if he can make a series out of this as we're getting into game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Pylon. Getting into Pylon. And again, we expect to see Proxy Robo multiple times in this series. we do expect it. Maybe not immediately after, but our eyes are definitely going to be on Classic for more of that. As we're now getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the Danish Brothels player down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. Representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player leading the series 1-0, representing Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. Here we go. So now, to have our standard openers. And we'll see if MaxPax does mix it up. We're now going for his Probe Scout. Does move out. Oh, Estes lo Iran, papi. 2 weeks not seen, punish me. You're an animal. 2 weeks without StarCraft? I couldn't believe. I could. Oh no. Cannot imagine such a world. But now 2-gate opener versus 2-gate opener. The probe does fan out across the map, so we're going for a proxy pylon. Now the question becomes, are we going for another proxy 1-base all-in with a proxy robo, or is it a fake out? Based on its positioning here, this is either going to be a fake pylon or a proxy Stargate. But I do like the idea of Classic mixing things up and playing mind games with his opponent. Now the reason why I say Stargate is because the rush distance by air from this position is shorter than that from the main base. So the rush distance by air is short. I should say shorter. Obviously the ideal position would be here, right outside the main, but we spoke about it during the Creator series, where Creator, if you remember, he proxied basically in this position on a different map, but it's so obvious. It's so obvious, it's so easy to confirm, so easy to scout. At this level of play, it's not worth it. It's not worth proxying here. Ideally, you want to throw it back. You want to throw it down further back, here, behind the shrubbery, or top right. Ah, Proxy Robo. Okay, not a Stargate. One base all in. One base all in. Now, there's some pros and cons to this. The pro won't be scattered, right? This is so far off to the wayside, it will not be scouted, will not be confirmed by MaxPax. The downside, of course, as a pro. Oh, he sees the probe. Ah, he sees. Yeah, he just saw the trajectory of the probe, so he's going to be checking this location. He does check, again, the standard proxy Stargate location. He'll check the second standard location, and then he'll go further in for the further back. Does he scout the robo, though? It's going to be close. He's right next to... Oh, no! Yeah, he's right next to it. He pulls away. As he mentioned, a very high chance this goes unscouted because it's so far away. The downside, reinforcements are going to be delayed, right? The Immortals rallying from this position are going to be so late. MaxPax expands. Oof. MaxPax, based on this build, he knows that there's a pylon missing. He believes it's fake. He believes it's fake, so he's going 2-gate opener Stargate into an expansion. So on the one hand, Classic, his reinforcements are going to be delayed. On the other hand, MaxPax invests into an expansion. So he's more vulnerable, he's more exposed. Classic, he gets a Stalker. Kills one Stalker already. Yeah, better trades for Classic, he gets one. The Oracle has arrived. Nice kiting. He kites back. Classic doesn't lose a single unit. The Prism has arrived, and now he knows. Yeah, now MaxPax is aware. It's throwing down more shield wires. It's going to be a tough hold for MaxPax. Oh my god. Yeah, some delayed reactions there from Classic. Stalkers are very low. A Void Rays are a must. Shield battery in the main. Stalkers are moving in. Oh my god. Yeah, shaky defense there, shaky control there from Classic. Doesn't lose anything yet. A little bit messy. The Immortals waddling in. He'll get there eventually. Oh no! Jesus. Yeah, the Immortal has arrived. Classic, he hasn't lost a single unit yet, but the Stalkers are quite low. Guys moving in. Prismatic alignment is activated. Classic has to wait it out. He has to wait out the alignment. Loses 2 probes in the main base. Classic does defend. He defends the main, moves in. One Stalker does go down. Classic losing 1. And again, is this taking too long? Just trying to warp in, trying to reinforce. The base is getting low. Oh. Nice juggling. Saves the Stalkers just barely. Sentry does force field. Depth goes down, another Stalker falls. MaxPax is holding. Yeah, MaxPax is holding on. With the arrival of another Void Ray, with the completion of another shield battery, he is holding, he's defending. But the base is getting low. The base is still getting low. He's going for the dive. Does go for the dive, does get one Void Ray. Does try to at least takes out all the Stalkers. Oh, but he loses so many Stalkers in the process. Not worth it. Yeah, MaxPax is holding. He's holding on. That was not worth it for Classic. He lost so many Stalkers. 11 Stalkers went down. Oof. And we have a series. We have a series. As MaxPax is on 2 bases, he barely saves the expansion. Classic, he made the choice. He made the choice not to kill the base. He tried to kill MaxPax instead. And it wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it in the end. He made the choice to commit to try to focus on the Void Rays. In the end, he didn't kill one, right? Yeah, he didn't kill a single Void Ray. Oof. And again, that's the double-edged sword of this proxy setup here. It's just how late the Immortal arrived. The fact that he's relying on pure Stalker reinforcements, no more Immortals. I mean, again, he just cannot rally. Cannot rally. Going for one final last-ditch attempt. But he shouldn't break this. Like, it's just no shot MaxPax has ever broken here at his natural. He's got 5 shield batteries. 5 batteries, 4 Void Rays. Finally gets one. One Void Ray finally goes down 7 minutes in. He gets one. course, feels A zone away. I mean, Classic still has a threatening army, true. Shield barriers are running out of energy. Oh god. Prismatic Alignment gets activated, takes down the Immortal, and that should be game. The Immortal goes down. There's no backbone to this. GG gets called, and MaxPax ties up the series 1-1. We have a back and forth. GG. GG, well played. We have a back and forth. We have a series, and we'll see who takes a lead in the series as we get ready for game number 2. It was an interesting build out of Classic, going for the proxy robo, but a different variation because he only ever made one immortal, right? And it makes sense because you just can't reinforce. It's just too far away, right? The robo is too far away, so he just could not reinforce with extra immortals, so he only had only one immortal. It was relying purely on Stalker Warpins, but you saw how delayed it was. You saw how long it took to really have a substantial army to work with, and alas, Classic just could not break that position. It took too long. We had 5 shield batteries. We had 4 void rays. MaxPax holds. And with that, we're now getting into game number 3. Going to be loading into Incorporeal. Feed the Ducklings, Pappy. They're cranky. Oh no. Here we go. No tanks to slow things down. There are slow PvPs out there, depending on the players. This is personally why I enjoy PvPs incorporating the Korean players like Classic, Zaun, and Hero, just because they typically create these high-octane games. But when it comes to players like, well, when it comes to a lot of the European players, I should say, very often we have like slower PvPs where the game does slow down and we get into things. I should also emphasize that some of the Koreans are like this as well, specifically Nightmare and Creator. Like, we have seen them take a slower approach at PvP at times. It wasn't the case between Creator and MaxPax, but it does happen from time to time. As here we go, as we're getting into our next game. As we're getting into game number 3, and we're here to determine who will take a lead in the series. As in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss. For Sidestorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. Why do all Protosses go proxy or all in against MaxPax? That is not true. That statement was true maybe a year ago. No, sorry. That statement was true like 6 months ago, 4 months ago. But as I was trying to mention before, MaxPax, he has stopped going for greedy builds. But if you're curious, if that statement holds true in 2024, 2023, 2022, the reason for that was because MaxPax would often go for greedy builds. I was trying to emphasize this earlier, but MaxPax's build in PvP for many years was Gate into Cybercore into Stargate into Expansion. Basically, he would skip the second gateway. Which means MaxPax would be vulnerable to all-ins. That's why you will often see all-ins against MaxPax. But in the current meta, as I mentioned before, as of 3 months ago, we've seen MaxPax stop going for those builds and started going for 2 gate openers. That's why Classic is expanding. As you can see here, Classic is not going for an all-in. Meanwhile, MaxPax does proxy. Let's go, it's MaxPax's turn. So Classic, he does go for a gate expand into Cybercore. Very greedy build here by Classic, which means it's on MaxPax to punish. It's time to proxy Robo. Cybercore is done, Robo is on the way, 1 base all-in out of MaxPax. So again, MaxPax, he started going for all-ins himself. The reasoning for this is because MaxPax now basically only goes for 2 gate openers. So MaxPax has changed his approach over the past couple of months in PvP. And Classic, he's looking for the proxy. He scouted the left-hand side, he checked the right-hand side as well, but he does fail to scout the Robo. Classic is in the dark, and does he blindly? He needs a Robo himself. He needs a defensive Robo. We'll see if he gets one. Again, Classic should know that an all-in is coming. He hasn't confirmed it, but there's a high chance. Because of his build, here come the Immortals. He's going for his 3rd gateway. Sorry, 2nd gateway. Oh, God. This is going to be a tough hold. MaxPax does move in. Yeah, it does move in, does commit, catching out the sentry. Oh, does go for the force field, locks down the Immortal. Immortal gets locked down, and Classic, can he get the Immortal? Up, it's close, can he get it? Very nice force fields, takes down the Immortal. Insane catch out of Classic, oh my god. Takes down the Immortal, takes down the Stalker, will cost him 5 probes. That was worth it. That was well worth it. MaxPax caught with his pants down. The pants were down, but he got too excited. MaxPax, he got too excited. Immortals are on the way. Second Immortal. Remember, MaxPax is all in. He does not have an expansion. You can't afford to lose an Immortal like that. So already momentum taken away from MaxPax. And Classic is getting his own defensive robe. And remember, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Classic. Reps into the main. MaxPax zoned away. Again, he's still trying to make this work. He does make another Immortal. He's got his own sentries. Now, bearing in mind, sentries, they are king for both players right now. I mean, I say for both players, mainly for MaxPax, because Classic has no blink. He has no blink. His own Warp Prism is still on the way. Without that Prism, he cannot escape those force fields. But the Prism is coming. Yeah, the Prism will pop out in time. Second Immortal has arrived for MaxPax, and he's going to try to lock down the army. He's going for the force fields. He's moving in. Oh, the Prism does overextend. Does force field, does lock down one of the Immortals. Gets the sentry, gets one. Doesn't get the other. So far, good hold here from Classic. So far, so good. He does rally over. Rallies over, takes... Oh, doesn't get the sentry. Clutch control, but second sentry goes down. Again, better concave here for Classic. He does have his own defensive Immortal now. 3 shield batteries as well. And Classic, he holds. Yeah, Classic, he holds. He shuts us down. Soul control. And he can just chase down MaxPax. Oh, the Prism. Oh, my God. Prism, he can barely save the Immortal. Clutch save out of Classic. Sorry, out of MaxPax. But again, he's just going to be hunted down. He'll lose an Immortal. Crazy juggling. Oh, my God. Very intense juggling, actually. As somehow MaxPax, he barely saves one Immortal, but it's going to be hunted down. Yeah, it should be hunted down here. Adepts take him into the shade. Ooh, Prism falls. A messy fight here from Classic. The shield of the Immortal, he saves it. The shield's trigger. Classic overextends. But even though this fight was actually a better fight for MaxPax, Classic is still ahead anyway. That's the scary thing. Classic is still ahead. Now, he did fumble that fight, 100%. Like Classic, he did mess up. Did fumble. He got too excited. He got too... Yeah, just got too excited. Got too cavalier. But Classic still has that lead. No shot, he dives on the Immortal again. No shot. Here we go, Adept harassed into the main. Now, this is a way for MaxPax to recover. If he can get some economic damage. We have Adept spreading a shade into the natural. We have Adept dropping into the main base. Classic is late to react, late to respond. Out of position. He rallies everything into the main. And probes are going down. This is a good start as he gets even more damage. 5 probe kills, very nice. And MaxPax expands. Now, MaxPax is still behind. True. Ooh, as he will lose the Adepts. MaxPax is still behind, but he's trying to recover. Again, if he can kill 10 more probes, not easy, but if he can kill 10 more workers, he can slowly catch back up. It's still a very low chance for MaxPax to recover, but, I mean, he is one of the best Protoss players in the world. So there is a chance. If anyone can do it, MaxPax, he is one that can. Going for the drop play. Finds the proxy. MaxPax dropping into the main. Once again, Classic out of position. Can he get the prism? Is he distracted? Oh no! Classic! He's distracted! 1, 2 volleys! Ooh, 2 immortals go down, and this is what we're speaking about. Classic is making mistakes. He's making mistakes. He's losing 4 probes in the main, 5 probes in the main go down, 6 probes even. 6 probe kills, 2 immortals. MaxPax, he's clawing his way back into this. Oof. And the Classic just commits. He commits across the map. Do we recall? Going for the base trade. We're going for the base trade. This is the best chance for MaxPax is to commit. Boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled. Probes are going down from both sides. Remember, Classic can't afford to lose some workers. Classic is still ahead. Just because this is the best chance for MaxPax doesn't mean that it's going to be easy here. It does recall. He catch out this army. Uh-oh. Not bad. He recalls, does get the immortal. Late recall here, late reaction, but GG gets caught. It's still too much. And Classic will take a lead in the series. GG. Whew, GG, well played. MaxPax, he made the best out of a bad situation. He made the best out of it. He was able to catch the immortals, get probe kills. He was still far behind, despite all of that, is the reality of the situation. Even there, catching at the immortal, even there with the recall. The problem was that MaxPax, he was still down like 15 probes. He was still down heavily in the economy. So it was a good effort there to try to recover from being far behind. GG. Classic takes a lead, and now Classic is 1 game away from claiming the series. Was impressive though. Was impressive out of MaxPax. Most Protoss players would have just tapped out far sooner, and it would have been less close. Here we go. So 1 more game here, and Classic will claim the series. The pressure's on MaxPax. Oh, as up next, we're going to be loading into Torches. Torches, of course, is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool, and Torches, specifically in PvP, is known for what? Known for Phoenix Wars. Phoenix Wars are very common on this map, so we'll see if we embrace Phoenix Wars here as well. Now, Classic and a lot of the Korean Protosses, they're not really willing to go into Phoenix Wars too often. We'll get into it. Once we confirm, there are some builds that Classic is very fond of to transition out of a Phoenix War, but we'll get there. But now we're settling in, and then we'll explain ourselves. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Torches, we have the Danish Protoss player, we have the blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss, the South Korean Protoss for Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Here we go. And as you can see here, one of the reasons why we spoke so heavily about Phoenix Wars on this map is because of this. There are very few maps in the map pool that have this feature, a ramp coming into the natural. You see this on Torches, you see this on Ultra Love as well. So Torches, Ultra Love, and there's another that's slipping my mind. I want to say there's a third map, but these maps have a ramp coming into natural, which means it is viable, it is standard, it is meta to go for this, a low ground setup, gate into Cybercore, into Stargate, into expansion. Now the reason why I say Stargate before Nexus, and that's what we should be seeing, but we'll see if that's the case, is because both players should be probe scouting, and if we probe scout, the probes should be in position to block the expansion. Speaking of, that's why MaxPax is here. But Classic doesn't send out a probe. So because Classic doesn't send out a worker, oh, 2-gate opener. Oh, hello. With a 2-gate opener, Classic, he can go for a 1 base all in. And he's baiting MaxPax into an expansion. Okay, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. Okay, so a couple things. First things first, because Classic didn't probe scout, he baits MaxPax to get a fast Nexus. So greedy build out of MaxPax. Classic didn't scout, but he knows that there's a very high chance that MaxPax took the opportunity to get a faster Nexus. Meanwhile, as you pointed out, 2-gate opener. This is not standard. 2-gate opener out of Classic. Now MaxPax, I believe, did scout. Yeah, he is aware of the 2 gateways. This is the setup for a 1 base all in. There's a proxy, there's the robo, 1 base all in. Now, there's a bit of a give and take here. On the one hand, Classic, he has momentum, right? He has the 1 base all in coming, proxy robo, what we expect. MaxPax did go for a greedy build, but there's a reason why these greedy builds are common is because of the high ground advantage, right? Is because of that ramp. Choke point plus high ground, which means you get your extra volleys off as well. It is difficult to all in on torches. Not impossible, but it's difficult. So this may be the best chance that Classic has at all-inning on this map on torches because of the greedy build, but even then it's not going to be easy. And MaxPax, of course, he scouts. He knows. Like, he knows what's coming his way. MaxPax is aware. Like, these are some big brain plays out of Classic, which is really cool. I'm not convinced it's going to work, I'll be honest. Going for a Prism first. And then into Immortals. Head up to Shade In. Doesn't quite make it through. Classic is moving out. And here comes the defensive Void Rays. First Void Rays on the way. Classic, he scouts, he confirms the Void Ray production. Blinks in, does force the shield battery. As we have a full wall here at the natural. Classic does load up. And MaxPax. He spots a Prism. Yeah, does spot the Prism, is unable to deny the drop. Adepts bust into the main base, and then going, sorry, Stalkers and Adepts bust in. They're going for the workers, they're going for the mineral line. Probes are going down. Oh, we'll lose one Stalker though. Prism gets away. Getting 5 probe kills so far. Oh, the Prism doesn't get away. Ah, that's a massive loss, massive blow. Prism goes down. But we're still killing probes. 7. Not bad. 7 probes, getting up to 8? 9? No shield battery, true. 9 probes. 10? Ah, not quite. So 9 workers go down. This would have been good against the Adepts, but losing 2 Stalkers and the War Prism, that might just be game, to be honest. Like, that might just be game. Because this second War Prism should have been an Immortal, right? This should be an Immortal. There should be a second Immortal coming out, and Classic can then reinforce and then push towards the natural. To lose that Prism, like, that is something you can't afford to lose. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. Yes, Classic, he killed 9 probes, but MaxPax still has a worker lead. He's still ahead. Oh, is he gonna expand? No shot. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I mean, there's 3 shield batteries. There's 3 shield batteries and a cannon and the high ground and void rays. There's no breaking this. Like, again, this is why it is very common on this map to go for a greedy build, to go for the faster nexus, because how difficult it is to break this position, as you can see here before you. This is why all-ins are typically just like they're typically avoided on torches. Classic is going for it. Again, I'll say they never work, but it's harder to make work. There's Void Rays A-Zone away. Zone away, they kill one of the Stalkers. We have another Void Ray in production. And again, Classic is just not gaining ground fast enough. Getting up to 8 Stalkers, and Classic, he knows he cannot break his opponent anymore, he expands. Ah, that's a brutal expansion. Oof. So Classic, he admits that he cannot break MaxPax. It's not gonna happen. Gets one of the Stalkers. Goes for another as well. Gotta respect the Void Rays. True. That's up to how many? Up to 6 Void Rays. And again, Classic is trying to build back up and recover out of this. I mean, we saw MaxPax try this as well last game, right? It's just so difficult to do. You have to do economic damage, you have to find something. in the main or in the natural, but it's just not happening. MaxPax is secure. Now, true, if the natural base was the goal base, then maybe, right? Like, the goal base could have been a factor in this game, potentially. Hallucination confirms. Classic, he was trying to deny the hallucination, he fails to do so. He can try to juggle into the main, but there is one safety shield battery. It takes so long to unload everything. If that's the plan. And from here, MaxPax can just take a third base. And we should be working towards, I was going to say, yeah, River's already done. Third base is on the way. For the dive. Yeah, there's Prismatic alive and Stalker's there. Oh no, Stalker's there. But GG gets called and MaxPax, he will take the game. And we're going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. We are going to that ace match. And again, classic, like, losing that first Warp Prism was brutal. That was game, to be honest. That was game then and then. When he lost the first Warp Prism, you cannot afford to lose such a high target unit, such a high valuable unit, when you're one base all-inning like that. So when the prism went down, that was basically game. It meant that he had to rebuild his prism. That meant that he had no second immortal, and every unit counts when going for an all-in like that. With that classic, he ran out of steam, he ran out of momentum, and MaxPax took it from there. GG. GG, well played. Why did he focus the prism? He did. I mean, that's how he won the game. That's how he won the game. If you're referring to the second fight, you don't want to chase the prism just because it does expose your void rays. You want to be within range of the shield battery. So MaxPax was just playing it safe, and there was no reason to overextend, right? No reason to chase. Luciano, papiga. Buenos dias, buenos dias. Buenos dias. Good morning, good morning. As we have found ourselves in the ace match. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming, tying up the series and forcing the ace match. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we do have his opponents. We do have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss player himself. We have the South Korean Protoss. It is classic for Virtus Pro. We go. As from here, we are going to be settling in. We're settling into our game. And we'll see if Classic does go for another proxy. This time, remember, there's no ramp. There's no ramp coming into the natural base, so we can set up quite nicely here on, or we should be going for 2 gate openers. You can all set up nicely on 2 bases and go for the faster expansion. It is risky to do so here, so we should be seeing 2 gate openers all around. Should be. 2 gate opener out of MaxPax. Classic. He's going for a gate expand. He's going for it. Oh, he's going for the Nexus. Does get blocked though. Yeah, it does get blocked. Pylon gets thrown down. Gas gets thrown down. Ay. Classic trying to be cheeky. He gets punished for it. Oh no. Not like this. There's the pylon block. So Classic, he was hiding his probe to go for a gate expand, but he got spotted. He got spotted. MaxPax with the spider sense. The game sense, Piper. The game sense. And Classic, he went for a delayed pylon, delayed gas geyser, assimilator. And already this is a better start for MaxPax. And MaxPax, he can respond with a 1 base all in. Hey. Okay. Let's go. Ace match. We're so lucky today. True. Where's the ace match? Now MaxPax, he's going for a Stargate opener, no proxy, no pylon, no one base all in. We're going for a 2-gate opener into Stargate. And we might end up in Phoenix Wars, actually. Okay. Couple things. So, MaxPax, he sees the Stargate. He knows about the Stargate at Classic. Classic, he also scouts the Stargate. So, despite the map itself, we are looking towards Phoenix production. So, Classic, because both players scout each other, we should... Oh, bold move. I was going to say, we should be making Phoenixes. Speaking of, there it is. Phoenixes for MaxPax. For Classic not to make a Phoenix, this is very risky. So, the goal, the plan here for a Classic is to get across the map with the Oracle, avoid the Phoenix, and get economic damage done. It's a risky maneuver here from Classic. It can fall in its face, or it can work wonders. Here we go. Does make the Oracle, does hug the edge of the map. MaxPax, does he find the Oracle? Does he find him? So far, he has not found him. Does pull back, the Oracle's moving in. Yeah, so far unscouted, MaxPax out of position. Oracle moves in, and we're going for the mineral line, going for the probes. MaxPax completely out of position. And with that 1, 2, 3 probes going to be going down. Oh, at the same time, the Adepts they do shade in. Adepts they shade into the mineral line, that should not have happened. And this Oracle only gets 3 probes. Meanwhile, Classic, he's going to lose everything. Wow, he'll lose everything across the map. 7, almost 8 probe kills. This is critical damage. 8 probes going down, and MaxPax, he will lose some workers himself. But remember, this was only Adepts from MaxPax. Classic, he invested into the Oracle, and because of the Oracle, that means that Classic is behind in the Phoenix count. That means Classic, he has less Phoenixes. That is dangerous. Second Stargate's on the way. MaxPax going to Mass Phoenix. Looking to just extend his Phoenix lead. And this is just a brutal position for Classic. Oh, miscontrol from Max. Okay. MaxPax has some miscontrol. That was 4 versus 4, by the way. That should not have happened. that should not have happened. MaxPax caught out. Classic, with that little pickoff, he does tie things up. He ties up the Phoenix count. We have Stalkers to reinforce as well. Classic, he can pull this off. He can pull this off. He has more DPS. Shield batteries on the way. Oh, never mind. Classic, he could have gone in, but he will back off and expand. So Classic going for the third base. Oh, never mind. Has Classic just rallied? Okay. Has Classic just pulling back? Yep, is expanding. Now going for a second Stargate. He does have his pylon block here as well. Now remember, the reason why pylon blocks are brutal in Phoenix versus Phoenix is because Phoenixes, they don't destroy buildings. Like, you cannot lift the pylon. So MaxPax cannot expand. He just straight up cannot expand here. Like, what's he gonna do? Pull the boys to kill the pylon? Aye. So with that, Max is gonna be forced to expand here on the right hand side. It kills Hallucination. Hallucination confirms more Phoenixes. And MaxPax forced to warp in a Stalker and a Sentry. Aye. Again, just if he wants to expand. Classic takes the lead. He's ahead in base, he's ahead in economy. Fleet beacons on the way. That's going to be for Phoenix range. And again, MaxPax had the better start. He straight up had the better start until he lost that Phoenix. The pants were down. There's the expansion. Late third base out of MaxPax. He never scouted the third base timing. Ooh, that's why. He never saw how greedy Classic was being. MaxPax, he saw the pylon, so he assumed that Classic was going to double down. I did as well, to be fair. Classic has a ring of pylons. As we mentioned before, because of the lack of ground units and anti-ground attack, that's why these pylons do serve so well. Base was just seen. Yeah, MaxPax, he knows. Now he knows how far behind he is. Phoenix range is a big power spike. What does this mean? This means that Classic is going to shoot first. He's going to be able to shoot first with that extra range. And one volley can mean the fight. One volley can be everything. Ooh, yeah, a bit of miscontrol there. Classic will lose one Phoenix. He does not stack. Classic, he engages before Phoenix range, so miscontrol out of Classic. MaxPax is up 2 Phoenixes. Oh, gets one volley up. He gets one, he gets 2. Kite's back. Yeah, Classic has to kite back. He's too close. He's too close here, and MaxPax, he does have the Phoenix lead. It's still very close, though. The Stalkers do help Classic. And Classic, he takes the fight. Yeah, he does take the fight in the end. Gonna try to chase him down. And Classic, he will run away with this. GG gets called. Classic does take the fight, does take the series. And Classic will be this week's LiuLi Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, Classic. He will claim the series. He will take it again. MaxPax had the better start in this final game, but he lost that Phoenix. He lost one Phoenix down the center of the map. He had some miscontrol there, and he also misread his opponent. That was the other big moment here, is that MaxPax, he saw the pylon in the center of the map, so he thought that Classic was going to reinforce and keep pushing. So MaxPax, he turtled up on 2 bases. He turtled on 2 bases. Meanwhile, what did Classic do? Classic expanded. He expanded. He took a 3rd base, and he got his base up and running, got it saturated. That's why he could afford a faster fleet beacon. That's why he could afford all those spotted pylons, and that's why he could afford Phoenix range as well, because Classic took that economic lead and snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. Whew. With that, congratulations, Classic. He does claim the series, but a very intense, very close, very clutch back and forth. Very close, very clutch, and with that, Classic, he will claim it. He will be our champion. Congratulations. My condolences to MaxPax. Again, MaxPax, he has been reinventing himself in PvP. As we mentioned before, Classic's PvP now looks very different to what it did look like 4 months ago and 3 months ago even. So again, MaxPax has been readjusting, reaffirming, and I mean, we'll have to readjust again once we get into the new patch with the PTR that will also be impacting PvP as well with the changes to the shield battery. And potentially with changes to Storm as well. I know there have been some murmurings going on where, depending on how Storm lands, Storm might be viable in PvP depending on how good or how bad it is. So we'll see what the final changes look like in regards to the PTR, as they will be, of course, impacting all the matchups. With that, though, thanks for watching. With that, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it. Congratulations to Classic. Shout out to MaxPax for making it to the finals. And if you're just now tuning in, again, this is a weekly tournament. LiuLi Cup is a tournament run by LiuLi, run by Saber. Saber, of course, he's a Chinese caster, Chinese commentator, and he does run this event on a weekly basis, an open cup that leads into a monthly finals. So if you want to tune into more LiuLi Cup action next week, we'll be here. We will be here next week, of course. Same time, same place on the CranKy Ducklings. Otherwise, we can catch up on the rest of our schedule here. Exclamation mark. I don't know. I think we have a command. Sorry, a calendar command, I think. So you can check that out. But as you can see here, we have a very lean schedule for the first time in years. Unironically, for the first time in years, we always pride ourselves on the fact that we cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there. Like, that's what we do here in the CranKy Ducklings. For the past 5 years, we cast more StarCraft than Wardy, more StarCraft than Steadfast. We cast multiple times a day, every single day. But for the first time in a long time, we have a lean schedule. Look at this. We're still live every day. We're still live every day, but only once. Only one cast a day for the most part here. Again, with slowing things down a little bit here, I would like to sleep at least a little bit. So we're slowing things down, and we have, for the most part, 1 cast a day as opposed to 2 casts a day. So we're slowing things down a little bit. We are human. Can confirm we're at least a duckling. We're at least. And part of the reason for this, one, I did want to take things slow coming into the off season. Like, to be honest, if I really wanted to, I could still cast twice a day every day. Like, there is enough StarCraft going on. I could fill this up with LiuLi Cup. I can fill this up with StarCraft Evolution tournaments with the new PTR patch for SC Evo. I can fill this up with the Code for Giants Cup cast as well. True, Code for Giants Cup, LiuLi Cup, Sunny Lake Cup as well from the CIS region. If I really wanted to, I could fill this up like we usually do, but we're slowing things down a little bit. Partly one, because it's the off season and we did want to take things a little bit slower coming into the off season, a little bit at least. But also because I now have some pet bunnies. I have some pet bunnies, and now I'm you know, looking after them, taking care of them, spending some time with them. They've started to free roam. They started to free roam in our living room / kitchen in the next room. I've started free roam, at least like what, 5-6 hours a day sort of thing. So whenever that's happening, I'm usually just there to make sure that everything's okay, they don't get into any mischief or anything like that. They have tried to get behind the fridge. I had to seal everything up to make sure that doesn't happen again. So they try. They're adventurous. They're very adventurous. And very cute as well. If you want to check them out, check out our Discord. Over in our Discord server, I've been posting some photos. So yeah, just, you know, other priorities, other things going on, spending some time outside of just purely casting StarCraft. It's crazy. It's crazy. Still a lot of work to do, don't get me wrong. Still a lot of work to do in regards to editing VODs, scheduling VODs, but yeah, this does mean that I can sleep. And again, we're still live on a daily basis, but only once a day, sort of thing. Like we still mix in a couple of extra casts every now and then, as you're seeing here, but for the most part, we're going to try to slow things down coming into the off season before things ramp up again, because they will ramp up again. And as I mentioned, if we really wanted to, I could just cast twice a day as well. There's enough going on to do so, but I want to slow things down. So if you see, if you do notice that we're live a little bit less, now you know why. Now you know why. Winning in PvP over MaxPax now. If you've been unfamiliar, there've been a lot of players like MaxPax, sorry, like Hero, like Classic, like Hearthstone. It was 2 weeks ago. Hearthstone also beat MaxPax in PvP. Crazy, crazy. It's the Hearthstone, the captain himself. But yeah, PvP has changed quite a lot over the past couple of months. Changed quite a lot. Baby proof? No, bunny proof. Unironically, I have been bunny proofing. Quite a bit. They're testing the bunny proofing. They're testing it. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Our next cast is going to be tomorrow with the Pondcast. The Pondcast tomorrow evening is going to be our next event. Likewise, Masters of the Game is going to be over the weekend. We have MSO on Friday. We have a Pixar Cup on Sunday. That's going to be a replay cast to catch up on Pixar Cup from earlier this week. And of course, more StarCraft. Again, still on a daily basis. The quality control is intense. It is very intense. Very intense. They're testing everything. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow for the Pondcast. Until then, thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.